This is an alert day.
A round of bitter cold and dangerous wind chills arrive in Maryland, and if you do not have to go outside, don't. Hello, I'm Denise Koch, and welcome to WJZ News at noon. Right now, the sun, if you've looked out your window, it's shining, but do not be fooled. It feels like it's in the mid-teens outside. First Alert meteorologist Rochelle J. in the Weather Center with more on a warm-up and a possible weekend snowstorm. We like the warm-up, not so much the other, Rochelle.
Well, there are folks asking for a little bit of both, but it just depends on who you ask. But we've got those wind chills this morning that for some parts of the state drop down into the double digits below zero, talking about western Maryland. But taking a look outside right now, it has been a quiet looking day, but as far as those temperatures go, it has been a painfully cold field out there. Still feels like 9 degrees in Westminster, feels like 7 in Rising Sun. BWI Marshall, if you're heading toward the airport right now, feels like 13 degrees outside. Same around Rock Hall, feels like 17 in Easton. So the farther south you go, that's where it's going to be feeling quote unquote milder. Still cold out there. As far as the winds go right now, the wind speeds for most of us are up to about 20 miles an hour. We do have a couple of locations, Hagerstown, College Park, Gaithersburg, Westminster, and around Odenton and Annapolis, where those winds are over 24 miles an hour. And of course, the gusts would be even higher than that. Wind chills through the day today, at best in Baltimore, getting to around 20 degrees. We'll eventually get some of that wind to calm down a bit later this evening. But as far as today goes, it is bright, but it is bitterly cold. As you're stepping out the door, layers are needed. Fleece line things are going to be needed for today. But again, you'll also need the sunglasses with very clear skies overhead. Feeling like the teens for today. And as we go into tonight, we're down into the actual teens with a little bit of wind, so we could be talking about those single-digit wind chills once again for tomorrow morning. And as I mentioned a little earlier, this is the first round of this type of cold that we have in the 7-day forecast. We'll take a closer look at the timing for the next round and talk about this potential for a winter storm in a few days coming up in the full forecast.
All right, welcome back. Let's take a live look outside on this alert day. As you can see, there is wind out there, and that wind is making those 24 degrees. That's cold enough, but it's making it feel even colder, Rochelle.
Yeah, it absolutely is. And, you know, the sun's out, so a little psychological feeling better out there. But once that wind starts to blow, that all kind of goes out the window. Here's a look at what we are watching over the next couple of days. We've got that dangerous cold possible again for tonight. And then also as we head into the weekend, we've got a couple of days that we're going to be watching these low temperatures. Also keeping some gustiness in the forecast as we head into the middle part of the week, and still monitoring that potential for some weekend snow. It still does look like the chance is there. We still have a few questions as to some of the specifics. But outside right now, it feels like 9 degrees in Westminster, feels like 8 in Hagerstown, feels like 13 around BWI Marshall, Fort Meade, feeling like 15. You're seeing lots of sunshine, and that's also evident as we look toward the harbor camera here. Not too many clouds out there, but again, we've got the wind and the temperatures are very low. So at the highest today, probably feeling like about 20 degrees during the daytime. Again, that sun shines out full force, but it's not really helping so much after cold front moved through yesterday evening. Winds are gusting up to about 25 miles an hour, generally out of a westerly direction, if not a northwesterly direction. We keep that gustiness around for the next few hours before it starts to come down just a bit for tonight. So those winds may not be as strong tonight as they were last night, but temperatures are going to be dipping back down once again. Here's a look at First Alert radar. Not much going on out there. We've got very few clouds overhead, and the clouds that we do have aren't producing any showers of any type. For today, we're getting into the mid-20s. Frederick, Carroll, Baltimore counties. Head a little farther north, though, around Manchester. Low 20s there. 26 in Pikesville, 27 in White Marsh, 26 in Frederick, and 24 today in Westminster. Now for tonight, numbing cold is back once again, down into the teens before you factor in a little bit of some wind. Tomorrow, temperatures are going to be heading up just a little bit, but we'll still be falling just shy of normal highs for this time of year. Looking ahead to Thursday, that's the pick of the week. Temperatures close to 50 degrees Thursday afternoon, and then those temperatures start to come back down. Now looking ahead to Saturday, we have issued first alert weather days for both Saturday and Sunday. That's because we have the very high certainty that it is going to be dangerously cold once again. Snow still looks possible for Saturday evening into Sunday. That's going to be the time frame that we're watching for this potential winter storm. So taking a look again at Sunday's forecast very quickly, if it'll open up, weekend winter potential looks increasingly likely. Still not sure of the exact severity here in Maryland, but again, that timeline looks to be late Saturday into Sunday. First Alert Weather Team will be keeping you updated with the latest details as we get them in.
All right, Rochelle, you have our attention now.
With which part?
With the cold, with the possibility of snow.
Yeah.
And maybe a warm-up somewhere in the future.
Thursday. That is my pick of the week, and it has been since last weekend. We've got temperatures today that won't reach 30. Wind chills not getting above 20 in many cases. Some of us still feel like the single digits. Not too bad tomorrow. Thursday's going to be decently mild, and then temperatures start to head right back on down into the weekend. We have upgraded Saturday and Sunday because we know for sure it is going to be cold both days, both nights. We're still watching that potential for some snow. There are indications we could get accumulation, but we're still not quite sure how much.
Right.